All right, so thanks for those of you joining us on the call. I hope you're able to log into the webinar and see the visuals. There's definitely a lot of things that I want to point out for you guys. And to you guys here in person, good morning, hello. I'm John Claudio Planzo. Nice to meet you, if I haven't before. I have had the pleasure of working with Belcher and its family of companies since we started offering insurance, believe it or not. So it's been incredibly fun to see how you guys have grown in the different divisions. I'm really excited to be a part of it, so thank you so much. With me here today is my left and right and left foot, Jaclyn Kraemer. I would not be able to do anything that you see on the screen here today without her help, so thank you, Jackie, for being here. And Barbara is here from Colonial to help us with our Colonial products. One of the things that I like sharing with you guys, Judy, I hope you don't mind, is kind of the story with the renewal every year, you know. I know you guys are not kind of involved in that, and I feel bad that you're not because it's so impactful to you that, you know, I like telling you kind of what we've been through, what I put Judy through, and why. Yeah. Judy is the sweetest CFO I work with when delivering a 30% increase in health insurance. She was very nice to me. But joking aside, that's what happened, guys. Aetna came back to us wanting a 30% increase in premiums. I was definitely very worried for you. Judy was worried for you. We did everything we could with Aetna. We didn't want to move. We wanted to stay with them. But they were increasing our deductibles and changing our plans in addition to that increase. If you guys are curious, that is like, it was $100,000 in increase to you guys and the company if we would have stayed with Aetna. So that's, you know, you guys would agree, right? That's not going to be any fun. So we were very lucky that United gave us a very good offer. And generally, actually for you guys, it was pretty flat, generally speaking, almost no increase. Unfortunately, guys, what happens is when you change carriers, the tiers kind of change. I mean, there's nothing I can do about that. The employee-only rate with Aetna was one way versus United. So you guys might see some small shifts in your pricing, but overall, pretty good news. Very small changes to you. And we are making some more plan enhancements this year. So I know we made some last year, and we're continuing to get better, and we made some plan enhancements this year too. Okay? All right, so how you doing? Questions around that? You curious how the health insurance industry works? I know.
Nobody knows that for sure.
Yeah, it's a big mafia thing, don't worry.
Yeah, Washington will change it tomorrow.
Yeah. All right, so guys, on your screen, if you want, in your packets, we have this booklet that we've made for you this year. Kind of focused on your health insurance plans. I'll kind of use this as our guide.
I emailed to everyone yesterday, so if you didn't get it, let me know. That means I need to correct the CPN team email address.
Okay. Is that big enough for you guys on the call, or would you like me to make that a little bigger?
It's fine.
Thank you. I'm just getting a little feedback from some of you, so forgive me. I'm muting you, but I will unmute you for questions.
You can ask them that to mute themselves.
Yeah. Or if you guys want to mute yourselves, for sure. Okay. So, guys, the format of our plan is very similar to what we've had in years past. Now, what I am excited for those of you on the call, what I am excited for you is that moving forward, everyone in the company has access to every single plan that we offer. So for those of you out of state, if you remember, you were forced to go to what were our PPO plans with Aetna. We've usually denoted those in green, okay? But since we're on this page, I wanted you to know that these are options for you guys on the call that are out of state, okay? And then for those of us here in Florida, you were kind of used to this. Our plans in Florida were available here, in fact, only in Florida. So what is neat about these plans, guys, is this is a national network, okay? This is United's National Choice Network. So I really can't call these HMOs anymore. It's not that they only work in Florida. They work across the country, okay? So that is an enhancement for you guys because if you're traveling in a different state, you're not going to have any issue seeing a doctor in that state, even if it's for a cold, okay? Whereas with the HMO, you have to get some prior authorization for that. So that's nice. Nice national footprint. This is one of United's strongest networks. I have had 0 people that we have checked doctors over the course of our meetings with all the other companies that could not find their doctor in this network. That's how powerful it is, okay? So from a plan design standpoint, guys, very similar, right? You guys would agree. It looks a lot like what we had. What we've done by design, everyone, is, we want to give you guys a low, a medium, and a high option. Depending on your needs, you can pick a plan that fits you and your family, So I will tell you just out front, I have a plan that is a lot like your low plan for my family, okay? And yes, I am taking on more risk to do that. But what do you guys think my strategy is? Why would I do that? Because the premiums are lower, right? So over time, and I've talked to a lot of people over the course of the last few days on this, you got to really crunch the numbers and see, hey, how much can I save in premium, and is it worth the difference in risk to the plan, okay? Personally, and everyone's situation is different, okay? Mine is not textbook, but personally, my wife and I are done having babies, no more babies. We are fairly healthy overall, and so a higher deductible doesn't bother us. We're prepared to save our money and have a higher deductible if need to. Now, Judy and I last year strategically came up with this middle plan because we wanted to give you guys a very strong option, and we're going to talk about the new high plan. The new high plan is even stronger than it was last year, so we'll talk about that. But so on this low plan, really quick, let's zoom into this a little bit. I know that you guys see this $3,750 deductible, right? Believe it or not, in my world, guys, still an okay deductible, believe it or not. Once I meet that deductible for certain procedures, yes, I have to pay 50% of the bill. Now, let's stop there for a sec. Does that sound scary to you guys?
Yes.
Yeah, right? Let's use my mom as, thank you.
Gotcha.
Jackie's my calculator.
Ready.
All right. So my mom was in the hospital recently. Thank goodness she's okay. But I want to teach you guys a couple things. You guys know, given in the business that you're in, I'm sure you guys know that we get United Network discounts for any procedures that we're going to use, right? You guys know that that's how that works, right? So first of all, in my opinion, there's 2 main reasons why you should have health insurance. One is that network discount. Because has anyone in here been to the hospital without insurance in the past? Seriously, it's happened to people.
That $100,000 you see that they billed the insurance company, it's billed to you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The billed amount, and you guys should pop into your Aetna portals. It should be a good habit. You guys should get in there and look at this stuff. When you guys go in there, you're going to see what the hospital billed and then what United contract allows. And you guys will see how unbelievably impactful the United the network discount is. So my mom, for example, $500,000. She was in the hospital for 2 months. $500,000 billed. Okay. Do you imagine if we didn't have insurance? Right? That's scary, right? So layer number 1, network discount. Cut that in half. Now the bill was $225, $250, somewhere there. I don't remember, but half the amount just in the network discount. So let's talk about how it applies to this plan. Now, if I was on this plan, what would happen? If I was on this plan, what would happen? I would have to have a $3,750. I'd have a $3,750 deductible, right? Jack, you want to punch that out? Well, actually, let's do this real quick.
Are you 200,000 again?
Yeah.
Minus 3,750 deductible.
I'm going to put it on the screen for the folks at home.
Oh, that's genius.
Okay. So for the folks at home, all right?
We didn't use a computer on Wednesday.
The way this works is, that network discount $200,000. Okay. Well, what I have to pay is the first $3,750. So that's my deductible. That comes off of the $200,000 that now is network discount. Still scary, right? Have I relieved your stress yet? 50% of that number. Have you guys feel better about this yet? No, right? No. I know, okay? This is what's important to know is, yes, I'm responsible for 50% of that, okay, which is $98,000, but the second most important reason why you need to have health insurance is the max out-of-pocket. And guys, in my opinion, that is the most important number on this piece of paper, okay? Because the way this works is, yeah, I'm responsible for 50%, but up to the max. Now, tell me, do you guys think the deductible goes towards your max out-of-pocket? It does, okay? It does. You guys are like, oh, gosh, I hope you said yes. Okay? Yes, it does, okay? So, really, once you pay your $37.50, you really only got, excuse me, okay? You really only got $28.50 to go. Now, hey, I know, guys, I'm not trying to downplay. $6,600 is a lot of money, right? Yeah. For sure. I'm not trying to sugarcoat that. But I'll tell you what, I will take $6,600 over $200,000 or $500,000 any day of the week, okay? So that's why even our low plan, guys, is great protection. You know, something happens, you got great protection as far as your max out of pocket. Now, you guys want more good news? Yeah, sure. Oh, thank you. All right. Good news, right? Every single thing that you pay in the plan, every copay for the doctor, every specialist copay, every prescription you pick up is chipping away at the $6,600 max for the year. Good, right? Right. Now, with this change, you guys are probably thinking, but gee, we're changing June 1. I've already met some of my deductible this year. I have good news for you there too, okay? I'm going to be getting a report from Aetna that shows how much of your deductible and your max out of pocket you have met so far, and I'm going to get that credited to you with United. Sigh of relief, right? Yeah. Okay? Now, hey, that's because insurance companies work with us to do that because we would never change them, right? It's a way to earn business. It's a way to be appealing in the marketplace. So we're going to get that done for you now. Hang in there with me, okay? That takes a little bit of time because, remember, our policy with Aetna really doesn't expire until the 31st. So we need claims to run through all the way to the end of the 31st. And you guys know, do doctors bill immediately as soon as you leave the office? No, right? Some of them wait 2 months. So we need to let some time pass to make sure we capture all of your claims so I get you full credit when we transition to United. Okay?
Look for them around August in your new United Healthcare portals.
So just hang in there with me. I had a few people call me that were concerned about that, so that it won't be an issue here in just a little bit. All right, question so far. The deductible and that co-insurance, this is called co-insurance, guys. This 50% is the trickiest part of the plan. Do you guys feel comfortable? Not comfortable? It's a little stuffy in here. All right, now, while we're on the topic, though, I'm going to pop over to the middle plan. Remember last year I was really telling you guys, hey, please pay attention to this middle plan real quick, okay? Because look what Judy and I did. We took and we reduced the deductible to $2,000, but do you see something magical about this plan? No co-insurance, okay? And so what that means is if you're in the hospital and it's subject to the deductible, you've only got to pay the deductible. So let me ask you this, pop quiz, Advanced Insurance Course 101 here.
You're dealing with the billing team here.
Oh, shoot.
That's the right answer.
That's why they're so quiet. They're like, gee, we know all this. Keep it going. All right, so how – okay, you guys know the answer to this. This won't even be fun. How do you hit the max out-of-pocket on this plan, if that's the case? If you have a $2,000 deductible and 0% co-insurance after that. Co-pays, right? Very good.
You get a brownie.
Okay. All right. So you're right. All these co-pays can continue to accumulate to hit your max out-of-pocket. I think it'll be pretty difficult for you guys to do that. Okay. All right. Questions on the phone so far? Let me unmute some of you guys. Sorry about that. How you guys doing on the phone? Any questions so far?
No, crystal clear.
Okay, great. Thank you for hanging in there. All right. So, guys, also, another thing that is really important to point out in the difference of the plans is that we have a copay in place for outpatient surgery. So this is really cool, okay? You don't even have to worry about the deductible if you're having outpatient surgery. We just have a copay of $400. Now, amidst all this, we have the GAP plan to talk about too, so hang in there with me. There's even more coverage with the GAP plan, but I was just pointing out some of the important things. All right, another thing that I wanted to touch on was the teledoc service. I hope that you guys remembered this with our time from Aetna. We do have a teledoc service that, yes, our primary copay is $25. So if you guys want to go see your primary care physician, it's $25. You want to see your specialist, it's $50. Yes, the copays are higher on the low plan, but please notice this. The teledoc is the same $10 on all of our plans, okay? Now, what's neat about this is, you know, I've used this. Jackie's used this. Barbara, have you used virtual before? Or?
I haven't, but I've talked to many people that do.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I can use it.
Yeah. Have any of you guys used it with Aetna? The Aetna teledoc? All right. Well, I just want to remind you, this is your refresher for the year, okay? Guys, this is so cool. You can be home, all right? And this just happened to me recently, about a month ago. I had a sinus infection at the house. You know, I know my body. I know when I have a sinus infection, you know, and it's such a hassle for me to think I got to go to my doctor to get a prescription for the amoxicillin that I need. It's such a pain, right? But with your telemedicine, you can just talk to a doctor virtually right from home. You can FaceTime with them. You can do it on the computer or just telephonically. I was a little shy, so I just did it on the phone, you know. I thought it was weird to FaceTime with somebody. So I just called her on the phone, and oddly, you know, she's having me tap my face. Okay, tap your face. Tell me what you feel. Okay, tap your throat. Tell me what you feel. You know, kind of doing a quick little self-diagnosis. And she's like, okay, I agree that you have a sinus infection. Let me write a prescription for you. Where would you like me to send it? Where do you guys think I had it sent?
Oh.
Yeah, my girl. Okay? Now, for you guys out of state, I'm sorry if you don't have Publix. We have an awesome grocery store chain here called Publix, and a lot of their prescriptions, generic, are free. So I paid $10 for my office visit, and I got my prescription for free from Publix. Luckily, have one right around the corner. Can you beat that, guys? Can you beat that kind of health care? Okay, so just remember, it's here for you. Take advantage of this. I think it's very convenient. Okay. All right, just a couple of things to point out on the low plan, guys, before you make your decision. Please note, and this is actually better than last year, we did have a deductible on brand name medication last year as well, but it was the full medical deductible. Whereas now we only have, well, it's less, it's still a lot, but it's lower than it was, $1,000 deductible on brand name medications only on the low plan. You do not have to worry about that with our middle or high plan. Okay, those do have full copays for generic, formulary, non-formulary.
And United contracts a little better with CVS pharmacy than any other pharmacy. So if you have that low plan and you're worried about that $1,000 deductible, you'll have a lower price point with them. And if you're on any of these plans, CVS is the only retail pharmacy that will actually do a 90-day fill for you. Keeping drugs in mind, what should they do now if they're on Aetna?
Oh yeah, thank you. She's my keep it real G police. Okay, so guys, I'm so sorry. All those intense negotiations with Aetna set us back. I mean, we were fighting hard. Okay, and I'm sorry, we're late. We're late to installing with United. So please, guys, if you can, we're not going to be in the system on June 1st. We're not going to be in United system on June 1st. Okay, so if you can, refill any prescriptions that are urgent. Make sure you get a refill. Jackie has suggested that there's something called a vacation refill. You can call and say you're going on vacation. Would you say 2 weeks, Jackie?
We usually give you 2 weeks supply to help cover that,
okay.
Possibly 2 to 3 week gap.
I've had a lot of you ask me, oh, John Claudio, I have an appointment on June 3rd with this doctor that was impossible to get in with. I'm so sorry, guys, okay? you can still go to that appointment. And it really depends on how that office treats, how flexible they are. Some of them will say, hey, no problem, you're changing insurance, we'll bill it in a couple of weeks, and you'll be okay. Some of them are hardcore, I'm sorry, if you don't have insurance, you have to pay self-pay. If that happens to you guys, we'll help you to get reimbursed from United.
And try to negotiate. So if they're trying to say you need to pay $250, you say, can I pay $25 or $50 now, and then we'll submit the claim and see how it works out. If you've been going to that doctor, they're probably okay with that.
Right. Questions on that? You guys okay?
The other suggestion would be to take, you have the policy ID number in your packet. Take the policy ID number with you and say, I don't have my card yet, but here's the policy number.
As soon as we have the temporary ID cards, we will be distributing them to everybody. That'll be your first indication that we're this close. It should be just a few days after that you can get the hard cards produced and shipped out to you guys. The ID number that she's talking about is on the very last page of the document you're looking at, along with John Claudio and my contact information, if you guys need help with any of the things we've just spoken about.
On the call, any questions on anything so far? Give you guys a little attention here. Just pipe in. I like open dialogue, so just, pipe in if you have a question. Don't be shy. All right, couple more things on the plan, guys, and I will promise we'll move forward.
One question to clarify. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
So I think you've already answered this question, but I was kind of cutting in and out. I spoke with my wife earlier today. We have 4 children. One of them just had a fairly major surgery. So luckily for us, we've already met our deductible for the year. So that was our biggest concern, moving over to a different plan, that we would have to start all over again. It sounds like that's not the case.
Right.
The deductibles will be credited. It just might take a little bit of time for us to get that information from one carrier to the next. So as long as all you have are some copays, as soon as those deductibles are credited under United, they will automatically, as part of this process, reprocess all of your claims.
If you have anything moving forward with United is what she means by that. So I'm sorry, what's your question? Was that your question?
I just wanted to make sure that I didn't have to start the deductible process all over again. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, you got it. Yep.
And if you're on a year-based, it's calendar year-based, which is correct. But then also, if you're moving from, say, the low plan right now to the high plan, and you've only pacified half of it, look at those high plans. You're pretty much halfway there, all the way there already. So they're not going to care if you're on a $7,000 deductible moving to the $4,000 deductible. They'll move it all over. So if you've got $3,000 towards that $4,000, no problem. If you have $3,000 towards that $2,000, you're only getting the $2,000.
That's a great point, Jackie.
And for the calendar year, does that mean that the deductible will be due again?
January 1st. Correct.
Okay, did you guys hear that on the call? That's a great question, okay? Please remember, though, that everything resets January 1, 2020, okay? It's calendar year. Now, our GAP plan, guys, resets January 1, 2022 as well. So you guys get fresh benefits from the GAP plan every January. So let's talk about that, okay? We'll bring up the GAP and we'll touch on that. Okay, so just wrapping up on the plan, we talked about the pharmacy. Just notice, guys, the things that are subject to the deductible on the low plan. For example, a big one for me is that MRIs, PET scans, for example, are subject to the deductible on the low plan. You get the network negotiated price for that MRI, but you got to pay it towards your deductible. But notice the big difference with our middle and our high, right? We have a copay in place for those services. Just make sure, guys, you're going in network, okay?
And to independent facilities, not the hospital.
Oh, that's a funny one.
Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so if you have the GAP plan under MRI and all those things I see in the middle and the high end, it's a $300 deductible. If you're in network, does the GAP cover that $300?
It does, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we have one here.
Yeah, it's just Judy and I just did it for CPN. Did I not tell you that? I'm sorry.
Okay, under Aetna, it didn't work that way. We were told that the GAP program only covered 20% of the bill, and we had to pay the $400 as a procedure, as a deductible up front, or a copay up front. That's not the case here?
We had a copay. We had a copay with that, so that doesn't sound correct to me. We'll have to look at that more specifically. Yeah, the
I'll call you up. I'll call you tomorrow or next week.
Yeah, that sounds kind of specific, Tim. Just give me a buzz and I'll help you with that. But generally, if it was just the MRI center and the copay for the MRI center, the GAP should have covered it, no problem.
And keep in mind, the way that it's worded is independent facility. So if it's an independent lab facility, it's in the GAP plan. But if you're going to a hospital or something like that, that would be under the hospital visit, not the independent lab.
Yeah, we had a 300 copay.
No.
No, only independent.
Only the independent.
I'm going to pull the GAP up, guys, I promise. We're going to go through that in detail because I want to make sure you guys know how that works. Okay, just another enhancement. For those of you who were on the low plan last year, these labs and x-rays were subject to your deductible, but great news moving forward, United is going to cover any labs, any x-rays on the low plan, as long as you stay in network. So that'll be great. That's the same for those of you on the middle and high plan. Actually, I think we did have some copays for that. No, actually, forgive me. That is also an enhancement for you, too. We had some copays for x-rays and labs, and those will be covered for you at 100% moving forward. So that'll be a nice enhancement as well. Okay, and the other things that are really important to me that we were very cautious to make sure, you guys still have a copay for the emergency room, and you still have, not on the low plan, keep that in mind, and you do still have a copay for urgent care on all three plans. That was also important to us. All right, really quick, sorry, to make sense of this, for those of you on the call, the green plans are identical to the gray plans, but you guys can choose from any plan that you want moving forward. The only difference is that the gray plans are the choice network, still a national network. I still think you guys are going to find your doctors in that network. The Choice Plus is the green plans, Choice Plus.
They don't have the color-coded version. Look for Choice Plus.
Mm-hmm. It's right on your paper if you forget later, guys, and I'm going to show you guys how to look this stuff up. It's very easy. Choice Plus gives you the ability to go out of network. Now, if we can, before we go to the GAP, just really quick, I want to talk to you about this. When you guys go out of network, do you think that you are protected by a network discount? No, okay? And I want everyone to understand that. When you go out of network, you are now in retail land. It is whatever that doctor wants to charge, okay? Now, the way this works, yes, there's certainly some protection here, and it's certainly valuable, but I do want to warn you how it works. I do still have a deductible that I have to meet out of network, and then United is going to pay 50% of what they feel is reasonable and customary. I'm sure you guys know what that means, right? That in that area, if most surgeons charge $100,000 for that surgery and your surgeon charges $200,000 for the surgery, United is going to base their reimbursement on what's reasonable and customary in the area. Okay, so you have to be careful. What do you guys think happens? You're going to get balanced billed, right? Or you have to negotiate with that doctor and say, hey, United paid you this much. Would you, can we meet somewhere in the middle? Sorry, was that a question on the phone? Okay, so you're still protected by a max out of pocket, but just remember when you go out of network, they can balance bill. All right, the GAP. Let's talk about this. Everyone tune in because this is really important. It's tricky, but it's the easiest GAP plan that I can find for you guys.
It's actually behind it's loose in your packet. It's not in that. Look for the APL.
Okay. Now, Judy and I designed this where the gap plan is covering the deductible for the middle plan, okay? Now, you could buy this gap plan and apply it to the high plan if you want. I personally think you're going to be overinsured. That's a lot of insurance, okay? I think this gap plan works perfect with our middle plan, all right? And this is how it works, okay? This is a little tricky, so hang with me. What you get, okay, is if you end up in the hospital inpatient, which on our middle plan, our deductible is $2,000, right? Is there any co-insurance after that? No. There's not, right? So the spirit is that we're going to cover the first $2,000 in deductible for any inpatient stay in your hospital. Now, isn't that cool? You're going to have zero out-of-pocket when it comes to a hospital stay because this is going to cover the full deductible. Okay? Now, the way this works is up to 2 of you in your family can get that benefit. So Judy and I felt that we covered the odds pretty well there. It would be very, very rare if you're a family of 4 that all 4 of you went to the hospital that year. Okay? So to keep the price down, we did it 2 times. So 2 of you in your family will get the coverage, or a combination of you will get a combined $4,000. Okay?
That covers the full deductible for the family.
Correct. And that's the spirit of it, too. We wanted to cover the full deductible for the family as well. All right. So outpatient. Now, you get a separate benefit, okay? You get $2,000 for the hospital, and then in addition to that, you get this outpatient benefit. You get an additional $2,000 to use for all of these different outpatient situations, okay? The emergency room, the urgent care. So, hey, what's the copay on the urgent care in the middle plan?
Urgent care is $100.
Yeah, what's urgent care?
Emergency room.
$100, right? So if you give them your gap card, what's going to happen? They're going to cover the $100, okay? Because you have $2,000 to use in gap money for all of these services combined. You with me? Okay? So that's why we like this gap plan so much. And also, you give the provider your card. Okay, that's the spirit of it. For the most part, this works well. It's not always perfect. You guys know billing is not always perfect, right? But the spirit of it is that you give the gap card and your United card to the provider. The provider bills both companies just like normal medical bill as usual. Same CPT codes and everything, okay?
I do have to warn you. United will be contacting you after the first time you do that to verify if you have secondary insurance. It's going to be a phone call. It's going to be a letter. You have to respond to that so they know they have to pay the full claim.
Okay. So the card, you get both. Gap will pay your provider directly. And look at all the things it covers. ER, urgent care. The most impactful, I believe, is the surgery, okay? Your outpatient surgery is going to cover that $400 copay that we have for outpatient surgery. It also works for the MRI. So, Tim, like you were mentioning, it also helps for MRIs and other advanced scans, physical therapy, heaven forbid an ambulance ride, and even outpatient treatment for any mental or emotional disorders. Now, what we did this year, guys, is we added durable medical equipment coverage, okay? So moving forward, if you have a CPAP or any kind of durable medical equipment that you need, you can use the $2,000 to apply towards that moving forward. So isn't that great? Okay. Questions? You guys okay? All right. Thanks for hanging in there. Okay. That's it on the medical and gap. Let me tell you really quick about dental and vision. All right, we'll get through this pretty quickly. Good news on the dental, guys. No changes in plans, no changes in price. We were able to negotiate a 0 increase with Humana. You guys have 2 plans to choose from. One of them is this HMO, okay? And things that I love about the HMO, all right? First of all, no deductible. There's no calendar year maximum. There's no waiting period, okay? And everything on that plan, let me show you this.
You also have this in your booklet or in your folder.
Okay, this is what's nice about this plan is every single thing on the plan follows a copay schedule. So you need a cleaning, for example, x-rays, no charge. Pretty good, right? Browns, there's a copay. Fillings, $5. How can you beat that? Now, who can tell me what is kind of the one challenge with this plan?
You have to stay with the network.
You have to stay in the network, okay? So real life story right here at our group, in a meeting in the warehouse next door, I have one person telling me how much they can't stand Coast Dental, or no, it's Great Expression.
Great Expression.
And then another lady telling me she absolutely loves her dentist at Monticello.
Yeah.
Okay? Is that your dentist? So, guys, I just have to tell you, I get mixed reviews. It's hard for me to tell you one way or the other. The one challenge is you have to stay in network. You have to use a participating dentist on this plan. The coverage is great. The price is better. You're just limited to who you can go see. Okay?
And we also have orthodontia for adults on that plan.
Which is a big deal. Our PPO does not cover orthodontia for adults. So orthodontia is braces, okay? So if you're looking at braces for yourself as an adult, this will cover it. It's still like a $2,000 copay, but you guys know that's usually $5,000, $6,000, okay? So the PPO, I personally take a PPO. What do you do, Jack?
Yeah.
Okay? I take a PPO, and against all my advice to you, I go out of network. I preach to you guys to stay in network, and I'm a total hypocrite. On my PPO dental, I go out of network. I have Dr. Crossland, and you guys know him? No? He's awesome. He doesn't accept insurance, and so I love him so much that I go out of network, and yes, I pay a little bit extra to see him, you know? Yes? Mm-hmm. So if you look here, we had a question, guys, on the phone to repeat the braces for adults. So on that DHMO, you'll see, okay, that we have copays for orthodontia. We have copays for orthodontia for both children and adults. So here you can see adult 19 years of age and over. Pretty much the orthodontic treatment is $1,900, which is pretty good. You know, that's the copay you pay for that service. There's some other copays if you need a retainer, and of course records and other treatment copays. But generally, you know, $2,000, $2,500. That's really good for braces. You know, so. And I have had some instances where the dentist will work with you to work out Invisalign with you with some of these copays. So that's another idea that you got to explore. But, yeah, does that help? Okay, so back to that PPO, guys. I take this plan personally, just give you an example, because I want to go out of network. The PPO gives you the ability to go to any dentist that you want. And so you have to decide, okay? Now, there is there's a deductible, okay, for any basic or major services. So in these tiers, guys, it's cleaning, okay, cleanings, fillings, tier major services, for example, root canals, crowns, more serious stuff, okay? The way this works, if you stay in network, it's going to cover 100% of your cleanings, 80% of those basics, and half of the major stuff. If you go out of network, it covers a little bit less. And who remembers what happens out of network? They bill you based on reasonable and customary, okay? Now, luckily, Dr. Crossland is very reasonable, so the 80% that I get coverage, my plan is just like yours. It does a good job covering most of my cleanings and most of my work. Now, the only thing I do want to tell you, one major difference is that you have a maximum of $1,000 on the dental. So the max that it pays per person is $1,000. Once you reach that $1,000, it gives you a 30% discount on services after. So just want to warn you.
And that too runs on calendar year. So if you're enrolling for the first time now for June, you get $1,000 between June 1st and December 31st, and then it resets back down for another $1,000 in January.
Okay, and then just a reminder, the orthodontist just for kids. It covers 50% up to $2,000, which is still helpful. My son had braces. It was $5,000. My plan paid $2,000. I owed $3,000. Not bad. You know, it helps. All right, questions on the phone? You guys doing okay? All right. All right, let's jump into vision real quick. The vision plan, guys, did not change. I tell you every year you really only need this if you wear glasses or contact lenses. You know, this is just to give you a good deal on corrective lenses. If you have good vision, your medical will get you your exam. You're good to go, okay? But if you do wear glasses, I think it's a great deal. You get your exam for $10. It's the iMed network, so it's a great network. Then you also get $130 on frames. So that's nice. You know, if you're looking at a $150 pair of frames, it's going to cover most of the cost of the frames for you. And even if you go over that, it gets you 20% off the balance. $15 for your lenses, and it's pretty affordable. You know, $3 a check, I think it pays for itself just in the exam, let alone the $130 you get for the frames, you know. Now, you can go out of network with this plan, but you're limited to what you'll get back. Okay, they'll pay up to $30 for the exam. You guys can see this. Okay. Now, one thing that is different, I'm sorry, is this is on a rolling 12 months. I had a lot of questions on this in the other meetings. So if you use this plan in March, you can't get your exam again until the following March. Just so you know, this is not calendar year. I'm so sorry, it's confusing. Okay.
Kind of like your wellness visits, which will reset since you're going to a new carrier, but if you're on the same carrier, your wellness visits every, 12 months.
All right. Great job. You guys need a stretch break? You okay? All right, a little bit more. Hang in there. Okay, so homework, guys, very easy. All right, and then Barbara just has a couple of things to tell you on the Colonial, and we'll get you out of here. So homework, everybody on the call. I already have all of your addresses, socials. I've got all that. So we're trying to make this as easy as possible for you, okay? So if you're not going to be making any changes as far as adding your dependents or changing your address, if it's just, gee, I just need you to know what I want to do moving forward, I just need this form back from you, okay?
Nothing on that.
Your name, your social. If you want to put the last four, that's fine. We just do that to make sure we've got the right Smith, the right Jones, you know what I mean? There's some duplicates. And then just let me know what you want to do. Hey, I'm currently enrolled. I want to move to that middle plan you talked about, G, the AQPX. And guys on the phone, don't forget, all plans are available to you. So if you guys want to switch to one of the more inexpensive choice plans, you can. Or let me know if you're waiving, if you're making any changes. I have a form I'm going to show you. For your dental and vision and gap, we're going to leave everything the same unless you tell me otherwise, okay? Which I'm a little concerned. I have the list of people on gap, and a lot of you don't have the gap, which is cool, whatever you want. But I just want to make sure that you didn't want the gap, okay? I'm a little nervous that some of you didn't sign up for the gap thinking you have it. So I have a list. Come see me afterwards, and I'll make sure that you're on the gap if you mean to be. Sorry, Jackie, you want to say something?
No.
Okay.
For people on the call, same question. I have a list, everybody else has a list.
Yeah, for those of you on the call.
So all of us can tell you whether or not you have it.
Yeah, if you guys would on the call, you want to hang out for a second, just make sure you're on gap. Just let me know, okay? Because I was a little nervous. There's only, like 10 or 12 people out of all of you, which I thought was strange, okay?
And we kept the gap application separate for that reason. So if you just need to add the gap, it's connected in your packet.
Okay, so just sign and date this at the bottom, okay, to finish that form. Now, John Claudio, I want to add my spouse. I want to add the kids to dental. I want to make some kind of change that cannot be captured in this simple form. We have this application for you, okay? Everything is in one place here, so you don't have to fill out multiple things. Just let me know what you want to do. Fill out part 1, your information. Part 2 are your dependents. And you're going to let me know, hey, John Claudio. Oh, and by the way, everybody, you guys can mix and match this however you want, okay? So let's say you say to me, you know what, G, I want the medical for myself, My spouse has good coverage at her job, and she's got the kids on there. But I do want the dental for my spouse, and I want the vision for my whole family. You can do that, okay? You guys can mix and match this however you would like, okay?
This replaces the simple form?
Yep, one or the other. We don't need both.
Correct.
Either the full application or just the one-page election form.
On the back, very easy, guys. Just check off, tell me what you want to do. I want to do that employee-only middle plan, gray choice. I want the dental DHMO, whatever. If you want to waive anything, tell me down here. I do not want vision. Waive.
If you're not currently in the DHMO, you're moving to it, we will need a primary care dentist listed in order for Humana to issue you that ID card.
You got to be on that dentist list on that plan, okay? So if you guys take the DHMO, you have to be registered to go see that dentist. That's how that plan works, okay? On the PPO, you don't have to do that. You go wherever you want. But on the DHMO, that dentist has to have you on their roster. Okay, John Claudio, yep, come on in. You can have your cleaning today.
And if you need to change your dentist and you're currently on it, our advice is to call the insurance carrier as soon as possible. Usually, if you call by the 15th, you'll be able to go to them on the first of the following month. So it is a less costly dental plan, but it requires a little more work on your part to be in.
Okay, don't forget to sign the bottom of this for your approval date, okay, and then you'll be done. You guys want me? Are you guys okay? Do you want me to show you how to look up doctors and dentists real quick, or are you guys exhausted?
We just need 10 minutes for Colonial, so.
Yeah. What do you think, Judy? Should we show them real quick how to look up doctors, or are we good?
I think they know everything.
Okay. All right. If you have trouble, at the very end of your...
People on the call, I'll know all the doctors.
If you have any trouble, guys, my information and Jackie's information is on the last page of your kit. Call anytime.
The website, too.
And if you're using the one I sent you, it's in the middle of the package at the end. It's the United Health information.
Oh, okay. All right. Very good. There was a question on the call. Did you want to go ahead?
Yeah, quick question. If you already used your vision this year so far, it probably makes sense not to sign up again as January starts brand new, correct?
Yeah, that's a good strategy. If you've already used your benefits, then depending on when you use them, can you give me an idea? When did you use them?
Well, my wife got contacts and I got glasses earlier in the year, so I would assume just cancel it to January and start over fresh at that point. Is that okay? There's no issues getting nothing.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The vision does not refresh on a calendar year basis. The vision refreshes on a rolling 12-month calendar. So you got to be careful. If you went in February of this year, you can't get your exam and lenses again until February of 2020. So I do have people that do that. They de-enroll because they can't get the exam the rest of the year. But then you won't be able to re-sign up again until June 1, 2020. So it's up to you. But that's a good thought. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
Along with his question, I haven't gone to do my classes this year yet. I wait until you moved over.
No, get your clock starting as soon as you can.
Dental vision's staying with Humana. We're not making that change.
Yeah.
So do it sooner than later because, like you said, rolling 12 months.
If you do it now, you can do it next May.
Yeah.
You see? Or go now and do what Tim's suggesting and cancel. It's a strategy. I mean, I do that sometimes, yeah. Okay, get your exam now, cancel, sign up next June. That's another way of doing it. I plan on doing that this year.
If you wear contacts, though, that can be a little risky because your doctor will require a exam every so often. I've been stuck because I did that a couple times where I had it one year and canceled the next year, but then I needed some contacts, and they're like, sorry, you need another exam, and it was $105 for them to copay. So look at the premium, because if the premium, I think it's what, $60 a year or something like that for employee only, it may not be a big benefit to cancel it for $60. But for family, I can understand if, it gets a little more costly.
Family.
Family.
Okay, let me give the spotlight to Barbara for just a few minutes. Thank you guys for hanging in there. We will wrap this up ASAP.
Hi, everybody, again. Nice to see you all. Real quick, obviously none of you have probably ever talked to anybody about your Colonial product offerings because we haven't been here before. Most of you haven't been either. So we'll start out fresh with you all. We offer products that help you with your medical costs as well as other types of things such as disability or paycheck insurance. So the first thing I'd like to talk to you about is disability. Disability basically takes over after 6% of your salary with a maximum to it of, I believe it's $6,000 per month. And this comes into effect when the doctor says, you're not going back to work for 3 months, 6 months, 8 months, whatever. At that point in time, Colonial helps you by sending you 60% of your salary to you tax-free, okay? So that additional 40%, a lot of that is made up in taxes. All right, so this benefit is almost your net paycheck, okay, unless you're over the maximum of $6,000 a month, okay? Next thing we offer, and this is very brief, high-level stuff. Please see me afterwards if you have questions about any specific policy. Next thing we have is we have a thing called hospital confinement. Now, our hospital confinement is a little different than the gap insurance, so don't confuse the two. Our gap insurance pays you a specific amount no matter how much your medical is being covered. So, for instance, if you have a medical issue and you are put into the hospital as an inpatient over 20 hours, we are either going to give you $1,500 or $2,500 after that 20-hour period, okay? And you use that money any way you have to. That can be sustaining or taking care of your deductible, outpatient, or car payment, thank you, dinner, child care, whatever it happens to be. Doesn't matter to us. It also has an outpatient service. It's up to $1,500 a year with either a $500 or a $1,000 benefit, so you can have more than one outpatient surgery per year.
So keep that in mind, too. With that outpatient surgery, you're paying $400. If
right.
you have the ATL gap, guess who's paying that $400?
Right.
ATL gap. So who's going to get the money when it comes out of this Colonial policy?
You are.
You are.
And you're going to get the $500 whether it costs you $400, $200, it doesn't matter to us. Okay? Now, there's also some other benefits to that, smaller benefits, but there again, it helps with your pocketbook. $25 visits for doctors, $100 for x-rays, another $25 or $100 for emergency rooms, ambulance rides. So there's another piece to that, as well as a wellness benefit, which means that if you have that cholesterol check done once a year, we're going to pay you $100. Say thanks for taking care of yourself. Okay? All right. Next policy I'm talking about is the cancer policy. Cancer policy is near and dear to my heart. I don't know if any of you have ever had cancer, have friends, family who've had cancer, but now they have a magazine for AYASs. The magazine's called Healed. AYASs are adolescent and young adult survivors. And this magazine covers a lot of things. And it talks about living with hardships because of cancer, et cetera, et cetera. My point is cancer does not discriminate whether you are 65 or you are 15. cancer is everywhere in our lives these days. The cancer policy that Colonial offers to you gives you dollars for different services, experimental treatment. It gives you for travel, chemotherapy, radiation, bone marrow, stem cells, skilled nursing, family care, hospice care, many things that your medical you wouldn't even consider. Now, again, the good news about this is there's no maximum to this policy. I personally received over $70,000 for my husband's cancer. That's a lot of money. But believe me, we used it because we had options as to what we had to do. It was important. And it is important to anybody because you think, well, my medical will cover it. Not always.
Not if you either go out of state to that specialist doctor, you got the HMO plan with no out of network.
Right. Or you have, you as the caregiver want to stay home with yourself. Your disability doesn't cover that. This is FMLA. No payment goes to you. But this helps to allow you to stay home more. Or give a medication or a treatment you can pay for that your medical does not cover. There's lots of different angles to this. Again, this has a $75 wellness for that one test we talked about originally with your hospital confinement.
So if you have both plans, that's $175 you got for that one wellness visit.
Right. Next plan is called critical illness. These are for your major bumps in the road. If you design the policy as to what fits your budget between $5,000 and $75,000. If the doctor says you've had a heart attack, stroke, renal failure, major organ failures, blindness, paralysis due to an accident, there's a couple of other items on there. 10 items. Any of those major things happen in your life, you get the amount, say $50,000. You have chosen for your policy. We're going to give you $50,000. That $50,000 you use any way you need to. Okay? Now, the good news is that medical research keeps putting us all together, right? You're in the medical industry. You know all these little gadgets and everything that helps to keep us going. So what we can do and do is we give you up to 3 times the value of the policy throughout your life. So if you chose $50,000, we give you up to $150,000 in your lifetime. If you have a heart attack and then you have a stroke 5 years later, we're going to give you another $50,000, et cetera. Okay? Last but not least is our accident plan. Accident plans are there for simple accidents on or off the job. Okay, so it does not interfere with your workers' compensation. It covers everything from a bug bite. You get a reaction to it, and you go to the doctor to make sure that your throat's not swollen and all that good stuff. We're going to pay you $120 for that doctor visit. You use that money any way you want to. Okay? If you have a broken bone, dislocation, burns, comas, eye or dental injury, stitches, tendons, ligaments, rotator cuffs, torn knee cartilages, ruptured discs, surgery, hospitalization. If you go into the hospital because of an accident, we will pay you $2,000 upon admission, plus $300 a day for up to 365 days. These types of things help to sustain you financially, to give you a softer financial landing. These are also portable products. The payment stays the same, so if you change companies or whatever, you can take these policies with you as well.
But Barbara, I'm in Colonial now. What's going to happen to my policy?
Your policy is going to continue. But I don't believe we have anybody here that ever had. Judy's the only one, yeah.
So that's the big key, is that once you lock in with this rate for our June 1st effective date, as long as you keep that policy, it will never change.
Correct. Now, I'd be more than happy to talk to any of you this afternoon. Obviously, we are under deadline to make sure everything was effective for you the 1st of June. So come see me or see Judy and sign up so I can talk to you. Okay? Any questions?
All right, well, we need these forms back that are in your packet for the United Healthcare as soon as possible, like the end of the day. If you could take them with us, that would be great, because I will be typing them all up all weekend long to get it submitted as soon as possible, because the earlier we can get them in, the earlier I can do my job, the faster we'll be able to get you those temp ID cards and get you access to United Healthcare. Okay.
Okay, thanks for hanging in there, guys. I know I went a little over. Thank you. You are free to go. We'll be hanging out for a little while if you have any questions for us.
All right. Bye, guys.
Happy Memorial Day weekend.
Go enjoy that mellow mushroom.
Hey, you guys on the call, anybody want me to check GAP for you before you get off?
No.
Okay, for those of you jumping off the call, my information's on the screen. If you have any questions, please give me a buzz. All right, thank you. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you, you too.
There are a lot of